A suspected gas explosion has ripped through the streets of Eloff and Bree Street in downtown Johannesburg this evening. Gauteng Premier Panyaza Lesufi says 9 people were injured. Several cars and a taxi on videos posted online cannot move due to the severely cracked road. Earlier, we were joined by Robert Mulaudzi from the Johannesburg Emergency Management Services spokesperson.
That the latest update regarding the patients. We have heard about 11 patients which have been treated on this incident. Out of those 11, the 10 received minor injuries, and then we've got one patient who is critically injured. All of them, those 11 patients, have been received medical attention on site, and they were transported privately with the provincial ambulance service and also Netcare and also ER24 to various healthcare facilities in the city of Johannesburg. So far, we've got our colleagues from Gauteng who are trying to determine whether the explosion might have been caused by the gas. So far, it has not yet been confirmed as to what might be the cause of the explosion. We still have our emergency services rescue technicians on site. We've got our urban search and rescue unit on site, our hazmat unit on site, and also the provincial ambulance service on site who are monitoring the situation. So far, I would say that is the latest update. In terms of the number of vehicles which were affected, we're looking at about 37 vehicles, which are mostly taxis.
And of course, when we look at something of this magnitude, it's something unheard of in the city of Johannesburg. And I know that you are saying that it's still not clear what could have caused this explosion. How far is that preliminary investigation?
Yeah, so far, I think that statement will be issued by, the city of Johannesburg itself, together with the leadership of the province of the city. So I think that information will be able to be provided maybe later on this evening or maybe tomorrow morning. But so far, from our side, as the city of Johannesburg Emergency Management Services, I can only be able to comment in terms of the number of people who are injured and also what is it that we are doing in terms of securing the incident to make sure that we don't have any further, incidents in terms of maybe secondary collapse. So far, that is the situation as it stands. So in terms of the further details about the investigations, I think that information will be issued. Maybe a formal statement will come out from the city of Johannesburg, maybe later on this evening or latest tomorrow morning.
And Robert, if maybe you can just give us a picture in terms of the extent of the damage. Of course, we have seen, the devastation when it comes to that stretch of road in the Johannesburg CBD. How severe is the damage in Bree Street?
Yes, the damage is mostly along Bree Street, which might take maybe a distance of about maybe 1 kilometer to 2 kilometers or so. Mostly it's right in the middle of the road, which is mostly affected along Bree Street and also the other part, which is across Simon Street. So the most area which has been affected will be along Bree Street, which is a stretch of about between 1 or 2 kilometers, which is mostly affected by the explosion.
And maybe if you can give us a bit of information, did this actually also cause an impact on the buildings along Bree Street?
Yes, in terms of the road closures, I think our colleagues from JMTV will be able to give, further details later on this evening in terms of the roads which might be closed and so on, so that tomorrow morning our motorists will be able to know which routes to use and which routes not to use. So that information will also be issued later on this evening in terms of the areas which might be affected and also the areas which our motorists are supposed to avoid, tomorrow as they conduct their day-to-day business.